Hey everyone, welcome back. I have not done a video in a while and thought this would be the perfect topic to talk about. And today I'm going to be talking about the effects of overexercise on the body. I know a lot of you following me may struggle with doing too much exercise, so I'm hoping this video can help bring awareness to what too much exercise does to your body. We all know that exercise is a good thing, but too much of a good thing can actually end up being worse for our health than doing it in moderate amounts. If you're somebody who thrives off of running and doing HIIT exercises, weightlifting, then you definitely need to listen to this video, because if you're doing that too much, too often, your body just may not be able to handle all of it. Let's start by talking about cortisol real quick. So cortisol is a stress hormone in the body. We actually do need moderate amounts of cortisol throughout the day, especially in the morning when we wake up, because it's the hormone that actually wakes us up and gets us ready for the day. But the problem comes in when we have too much cortisol, and this happens actually a lot for people living in today's society. A lot of humans are chronically stressed out and they just don't know it. If you have a lot of things going on in your life, like with work, with relationships, with deadlines, with school, and then you are doing intense exercise on top of that, it's kind of just like adding another log to a burning fire. Like, there is just too much going on, and sometimes this leads to burnout. Problems start to come in when cortisol is too high for us to handle. Chronically high levels of cortisol can increase your chances of having sleep disturbances, digestive issues, hormone imbalances like a missing period, weight changes, and even like memory impairment. I'm going to start by talking about missing periods, because I know a lot of my followers struggle with hypothalamic amenorrhea, but they're not really sure why they have it, and often it's a combination of undereating, overexercise, and just being stressed out chronically. And what I see a lot is that people are increasing the amount that they're eating, but they're still doing the exercise, because I know that can be a really hard thing to give up, but it can definitely impact your cycles. Any type of high intensity exercise, especially running, increases cortisol and another hormone called adrenocorticotropic hormone. It's really hard to say, so I call it like ACTH. ACTH is produced in the pituitary glands, and when that's too high, it actually can repress the hypothalamus. The repressed hypothalamus no longer secretes GnRH at the rate required for maturation of an egg, which means no ovulation and no period. The HPA axis in the brain is sensitive to any kind of outside stressors. It can sense when there's not adequate amounts of food coming in or when you're chronically under stress. If you have not tried decreasing the amount of exercise that you are doing and the types of exercise that you're doing, I would really recommend starting there, because your body can only handle so much stress, and if you are eating more, that may just not be enough in order to get your period back. Switching gears real quick, and I want to talk about the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is the master gland for the entire body. It controls your metabolism, your digestion, muscle function, bone development, and even your brain. The stress caused by really intense exercise can actually downregulate your thyroid hormone. I've seen this a lot with clients that I have. They do have period problems, but they also have like what is like known as like hypothyroid lab levels, and this is definitely something that needs to be addressed, because it can really affect, like I said, your digestion. I've had a lot of clients who had constipation, and that started to improve when they stopped doing the intense exercise they were doing and got their periods back. Hypothyroidism is known to cause depression, weight changes, digestive dysfunction, along with other variety of symptoms. As we know, high stress in general can cause symptoms of hypothyroidism, and the stress caused by excessive exercise is no exception to this. Have you ever experienced digestive issues like bloating or cramps when you run or do intense exercise? Well, there's a big reason for this, and it's largely due to the lack of blood flow to your digestive organs, as the blood is going to your heart, your lungs, your brain, and your muscles. The stress response when you do exercise also can slow down your digestive tract. This is why it's always recommended that runners don't consume like complex carbohydrates before a run, and sticking to more of those simple carbohydrates and simple proteins that can just be readily available for your body to use, rather than expend spending more energy trying to digest that while you are exercising. Both the lack of blood flow and the reintroduction of the blood flow to the GI tract can actually cause mucosal injury and increasing permeability of the gut over time, leading to bacterial translocation. Now, all of this is not to say that you can never do intense exercise or run again. That's not what this is about. It's really about listening to your body and understanding what your symptoms are so you can better improve your relationship with food and your approach to exercise. Because if you're always forcing yourself to do chronic cardio, if you feel like you always have to do intense exercise and you're never giving your body that break, it is going to eventually lead to a lot of these problems. Now, believe me when I say that I totally get it. I used to be at the gym like 6 days a week. I never felt like a workout was good enough unless I did some kind of cardio or stepped my foot on the treadmill. But in reality, that's just not true. Your body actually does need a lot of rest days. I personally do 3 to 4 rest days per week, just depending on how I'm feeling or how stressed out I am. If I know that life is getting crazy with work and I'm starting to feel really stressed out, I know because my body gives me signs that it's just too stressed out. For me personally, I stop being able to sleep. Like my sleep gets shorter. I struggle with insomnia, so I have to really pay attention to that sign. And I noticed this huge impact on my digestion as well. But you know, everybody has their own signs. I've known a lot of people who struggle with having diarrhea when they are super stressed out, so it's so important to understand what your signs are pointing to and when to take a break. I also want to throw it out there that if you do struggle with the mentality of cutting down your exercise, you're the person that probably needs to cut it down the most. Focusing more on walking and gentle yoga. I've never been one to like Tai Chi, but I know some people love it. Even just like light swimming or biking or throwing a frisbee. You know, movement is better than no movement at all, but we really don't have to be obsessive about it. We don't have to be tracking our steps. We don't have to be doing an hour of cardio every single day to reap the health benefits of just movement. I personally am in the gym like 4 days a week right now, and I do a lot of walking. That's what feels the best for my body, and it's actually what helped me balance my hormones and reduce stress on my body the best that I could. Unfortunately, I see so many women who feel like they need to only do cardio and are afraid of weightlifting. Weightlifting is just an incredible form of movement. It will help you increase your posture, get stronger, stamina, and just focusing on the actual movement rather than focusing on calorie burn. Trying to keep these videos really short and sweet, but I hope the thing that you can take away from this is that more exercise is not equal to better. More exercise does not equal being healthier. It's really important to focus on balancing rest and exercise, and also balancing all the other stressors that you have in your life. Some people can maintain a lot of exercise because they don't have a lot of life stress. But if you do have a lot of life stress, it's really important to maybe focusing on a mix of the exercise that you're doing, like low intensity exercise with high intensity exercise, and really just focusing on being intuitive with that as well. Just as I preach intuitive eating, I also preach intuitive exercise. So feel free to drop any comments or questions or concerns down below. I would be so happy to answer them, and hopefully I will do another Q&A in the future. I will catch you guys in the next video.